Welcome to another video. In this video we're gonna see how to work with a sprite sheet that has multiple animations in it. So we're gonna have a sprite sheet that has two animations and we're gonna be toggling between one and another. So let's get to it. Alright, once you have a new project created, go to the description in this video and I'm gonna leave you a link to the sprite sheet we're gonna be working with. Basically just click on the link, you're gonna get a download, extract that, and you're gonna have a PNG file. It's gonna look like this. And this is a sprite sheet. This sprite sheet has two animations in it. This part right here, this guy just standing idling, and then this part over here where the guy is walking. So go ahead and download this, and once you have this we can continue. Alright, so once you downloaded the sprite sheet, let's go ahead and bring it in, import it over here in textures, import, and select the sprite sheet you downloaded, and it's gonna be right here, sprite sheet. Go ahead and click on it, and we need to configure our sprite sheet. The first things first, the size. You can see it has a 64 for the height and a 704 for the width. But we need to input the size of every frame. And this sprite sheet, the frames are 64 by 64. So let's put a 64 over here. And you see that changed a lot. And we also need to change the size over here to 64. 64. Once we have the size done, we need to set up the columns. As you see, this sprite sheet runs from left to right. There are sprite sheets that go from top to bottom or that are squared. And depending on your sprite sheet, you need to set the columns and rows. For our sprite sheet, we're gonna be using only columns. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 columns. Let's go ahead and put them in. 9, 10, 11 columns. And you can see that our animations is already working over here. But we have two animations on this sprite sheet. You can see it idle, and walk. Idle and walk. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna use the Sprite Composer Catmod to split this sprite sheet into two animations. This one, that is the idling animation, and this one, this is the walking animation. So let's go ahead and save this and come over here to our project. Go here to Catmods, look for the Sprite Composer Catmod, right here, Sprite Composer, and activate it. Once it's activated, you can see it over here in Catmod settings, Sprite Composer, and this is the work area. You can make it bigger over here in the corner, drag and hold. And how do we work with the Sprite Composer? If we open our helper over here, go to Modules, Documents, Sprite Composer, you can see how it works. And basically, right here in the example, you have one sprite sheet that is called Slime, and you use one function, ct.sprite, that takes the slime texture that is right here, and it creates a new one that is called slime idle. And you can see the frames are numbered. The first frame is always gonna be 0, so it's gonna be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the new texture is gonna be using frames 0, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 0, 0, 0, 4, 5, etc. And this creates a new texture that is called slime idle, and it looks like this. So let's work with this. Grab it, copy, come over here to our work area, paste, and we need to input our texture that is called sprite sheet. So copy this, the name of your texture, and paste it over here, sprite sheet. And our new texture or animation we're gonna use, it's gonna be called idle, just plain idle. And right here in these numbers, we need our frames. So remember, frames start at 0. So we need 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 for idle. We're gonna need 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Only 1 0. So we can copy this, go down and paste it, change the name of the new texture to walk, and for walking we need 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. That's gonna be our walking animation. It's gonna be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Once we have this already creates our textures, the idle and the walking. Now let's go ahead and apply them. Let's come over here to our texture, save this, let's create a type from it. And right here on create, we want that when the first thing that our little guy does when he gets created is run the idle animation. So let's apply that. This texture equals idle. Remember, we just created this texture over here, idle. So let's use that. And now we need to set an animation speed. Our animation speed, if we come over here to project and render options, you can see that it says max frame rate 60. So that tells us that we're gonna be running at 60 frames per second. So over here to type 60 frames per second, so let's put a 60. And everything we divide in this is gonna give us our speed. So we put 8, that is gonna give us 8 frames per second because we're doing 60 frames a second. So our texture idle animation is gonna be at 8 frames a second. And lastly, we want to hit play. So the animation plays. Once we have that, we can start checking it out. Let's create a room really quick. Just name it really whatever. And let's place our guy right here in the middle. Hit done, and let's check it out. You can see right here the idle animation is going on. One thing we need to note, you can see how it's a little blurry. That's an effect that works really good with high resolution games. But since our sprite sheet is pixel art, we're working here with low resolutions. So just come over here to project and render options. Right here, just disable image smoothing so our pixels are crisp. That's what we need. We can check it out again. And there you have a crispy clean image for pixels. So we have the idling animation. Now if I hit enter, nothing happens. I want that I hit enter and it switches to walking animation, and then enter and it switches to idling animation again. Let's go ahead and do that. Come over here to types, on step, let's replace this with other code. So we want to check if we're hitting enter first of all. So if the last key that was pressed is equals to enter, then I want to check what animation is currently running. So if we're in idle, we want to walk, and if we're walking, we want to idle. So here we want to check if this texture is walk. We want to change it to idle. Else if this texture is equals to idle, we want to change it to walking. Alright, so right here, whoops, if we hit enter, we're gonna enter into these conditions, and these conditions are very easy. If we're walking, we're gonna idle. Else, if we're idling, we're gonna walk. And that's how you do animations. Oh, I forgot something really quick. We need to hit play every time, or else it's just gonna freeze. So every time you change your animation, you need to hit play. Alright, save it. And let's go ahead and check it out. There we go, idling, and now we're walking. Enter, idle, enter, walks. So that's how you work with the Sprite Composer Catmod. So you can grab a sprite sheet that has multiple animations, and you can split them and create independent animations out of them. Thank you for staying all the way to the end. So I hope this video was helpful to you, and like always, I'm going to be leaving links in the description so you can download this and start creating games. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.